4 reasons to care about your digital footprint. What is a digital footprint? We're used to looking at all kinds of information on the internet, but the internet, it seems, is looking back at us. When we visit websites to get information, do social sharing, send instant messages and email, we leave something behind. Our digital footprints are the traces we leave behind as we use the internet. Digital footprints have both benefits and costs. For instance, they may offer convenience by saving you time logging in or retyping your personal details. The trade-offs, well, that's what the Internet Society's digital footprint tutorials are about. Most of us realize that when we consciously share information on social media or upload pictures, we lose some degree of privacy. But we are less likely to think about the footprints we create by default, simply by searching the web, shopping online, or enabling location services. And as the saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. It's hard to manage something you've never seen. It's not uncommon for people to say, I have nothing to hide, so why should I care about my digital footprints? There are many reasons, some of which we'll explore in a moment. But the simplest one is this. Your digital footprints reveal a lot about you. They build up into a detailed picture of your likes and habits, and that information has commercial value. Our digital footprints are monetized by organizations with which we have no relationship and which we can't control. Few internet users realize how intimate their digital footprints are, or how commonly the resulting data is shared by third parties. One online security company has identified more than 200 third-party advertisers and 630 tracking technologies collecting individuals' data on the web. Are you logged into Facebook, Twitter, or Google right now? If so, they're tracking your visits to any web page with a like, tweet, or +1 button, whether or not you click on that button. Every site you visit gives them more information to store and commercialize. There's an implicit bargain there, but who's getting the best of it? Now let's look at some of the other reasons your digital footprints matter. While the reasons will differ depending on you, your country, and your culture, they will probably fall into one of 4 categories: protecting your reputation, maintaining your ability to decide where and how your personal information is shared, preventing financial loss, preserving your freedom. Protecting your reputation. Even if you have nothing to hide, not everything about you is appropriate to every audience for all time. Your digital footprints can be taken out of context and misinterpreted. If you search online for appeal against speeding fine, a third party could assume your search related directly to your own situation, whether or not that is the case. If you use a credit or debit card to pay the bar bill for a group of friends, and later use a card to cover your parking costs, it could create the impression that you drive after drinking, even if you were the designated driver for the evening. And is a third party really entitled to see that data or to draw those conclusions? Reputation is a social, interpersonal judgment tempered by forgiveness and forgetfulness. You can't rely on the internet for any of those. Deciding where and how your personal information is shared. Everyone has information that they only want to share in specific contexts. You may share medical information with family, but not necessarily your boss. In some countries, it may be important that your religious beliefs are known only to a few. There are probably circumstances under which you're comfortable sharing personal information with organizations through the internet, but wouldn't want that same data spread around. With today's tracking mechanisms, most internet users don't have the control to prevent that kind of spread. There's no easy way on the internet to say no to most forms of tracking, and certainly no way to say you can share this but not that. Commercial tracking aside, there's also the law enforcement aspect. Microsoft, Google, Twitter, Facebook, and Yahoo have all released user data to governments on demand, and there is growing concern about the number of apps that leak users' personal data. Online services can greatly reduce subscribers' ability to control their own information. Preventing financial loss. Identity theft is a global issue. As digital footprints are aggregated into larger databases, digital thieves can obtain data about tremendous numbers of people, facilitating identity-related crime. User authentication systems add detail to these databases. For example, what was your first pet's name? Which we might already have disclosed in some other context without thinking about it. When such an aggregation of data is hacked, it's all the easier for criminals to impersonate others for financial gain or other purposes. Even other people's digital footprints can affect your creditworthiness. One returning honeymooner found that his credit limit had been lowered from about $11,000 to $4,000. The credit card company explained that Other customers who use their card at establishments where you recently shopped have a poor repayment history. Based on similar kinds of data and inference, financial services company could steer you to credit card offers with higher interest rates and lower credit limits. An insurer could deny you coverage or charge you more for it based on your digital footprints. Maintaining your freedom. Your digital footprints can also affect your freedom to express yourself, and in some places, even your liberty and well-being. Many governments routinely track social media sites, instant messaging services, and chat rooms, and some may arrest people for political statements made in these venues. Surveillance software may be used to intercept communications to and from human rights activists, and this has resulted in cases of arrest and torture. Recently, some mobile phone users in Kiev received a text message saying, "Dear subscriber, you have been registered as a participant in a mass riot," based on the location of their handsets, not necessarily on whether they were there or what they were doing. Law enforcement action based on this kind of inference comes with a high risk of error and injustice. There are softer forms of freedom, too. You may find your freedom to access information limited based on assumptions about where you are. Again, using data from your digital footprints that may or may not be reliable. Imagine for a moment that based on your online activities, your reputation was tarnished, your intimate details were broadcast to the world, you were defrauded, or even that you were arrested and jailed. Any one of those outcomes could be devastating, but the more of our lives we conduct online, the more exposed we are to these kinds of risk. How do people feel about that? Research in India found that 40% of those surveyed said they shop online using unsecured Wi-Fi networks, and about 20% share passwords with others. On the other hand, in a Malaysian survey, 86% said they are concerned that mobile apps might be collecting personal information without their permission, and more than half of those with concerns state that they limit their use of apps. Among readers of the Wall Street Journal, 60% expressed concern about the loss of online privacy, and the figure is almost 70% for U.S. consumers as a whole. People's perception of the risks clearly varies greatly, but we think it's vital to understand how your digital footprints relate to your privacy and safety and what you can do about it.
The first thing I'm going to start with today is formatting. So with the formatting, this has several elements that are availed, and these elements are based, or they are meant to help you to define text with a special meaning. We looked at how you can have, paragraphs and how you can have headings and the different attributes that you can place to them. Now, the text that is either in your heading or in your paragraph, or which is going to come later to see in a quotation, you can have it formatted in a different way. So the different formats which are available is bold. So you can see here, we have the bold text. You can also use strong, which in this case means important text. You can use italic. You can use emphasized text. You can use mark. You can use small. You can use del, insert sub, in this case for the subscript. You can also use sub for superscript. So all these are different ways you can format your text so that it appears to be special from any other text that you already have. An example is given here for a block quote, something like this, and it can be given there. The address, this one changes the content to be in italic form. I can actually show you this. If you look at this, the text here, let me put a p tag here. With this p tag, I'm still going to put the same content that you can see displayed under the address, and you're going to see how it changes. So on this right left hand side, you can see there's a p tag now, which is having the same content as the one that is under the quotation, which is now, this address tag. And if I run this, you can see the one for the p tag is just appearing as normal text, but the one that is under address appears as being italicized. We also have the site, which defines the title of your work, and you can get an example here. So you can see where site is used here, and it appears on this other side as if it is something italic. Comments. So the comments in this case, the comments are not displayed on your browser. The way we use them is to make your content, or to try and explain the way in which your site is going to work, or if you're working on the same work with someone else, it helps you to elaborate on your content. So you have the comment tag in this way, and then you write something in here. Links are meant to help you to navigate within the page, and they are represented as hyperlinks. Now the hyperlinks help you to navigate within the page that you're in, or they can help you to move to another website. They can be in form of text, or in other cases, they can even be images, or any of the elements that you use within your HTML document. So the way links are represented, we use what we call the A tag, or the anchor tag. So this A tag is in this form. So you have the opening tag, and within the opening tag, it has one thing or it has some attributes here. So this is one of the attributes. We mentioned about this one on Tuesday. So one of the attributes is href. So this one refers to the URL, or where you want to point this link to. And then you have the text that you want to be availed for the link. And then you close the anchor tag. So I can showcase this one with this, try it yourself. So you can see here, I have this anchor tag. So this is the opening tag, and within it, the href, or the source, is we want to go to this HTTPS. This is the URL that you want to go to, and the text is visit our HTML tutorial. So this is the text, and you can see now, and this visit our HTML tutorial, this one appears as having an underline. If I put another p tag here, and I give the same thing, the same kind of content, which is visit our tutorial website, and I run, you can see the other text is going to appear as normal text, because this is not a link. Now this is a link, and you can see when I have a mouse over the text, the hard symbol appears, and if I click on it, it's going to take me now to this website. So if I click on this, you can see it opens another website, and which is now the website which was referred to by this particular link. So that is the way in which we have the hyperlinks represented. So there are some other attributes that are going to be there, and I can show you some of them. So one of the attributes is this, which is the target, and the values can be either a blank, which means it is going to open the document in a new window or a new tab. We have the self, which means the link is going to open the document within the document, or the default document, or it's going to also open it within the parent document, or the parent frame. This one mainly is used with the frames, or it's going to also open it at the top. So this one is going to open the link, and then in the full body of the window. So these are just the different ways. You can also have the frame name in which you want to have the link targeted. Now these are different ways in which you can have anchor tag defined. With the anchor tag also, we can use it to navigate a document. The other element I can talk about is the images, represented by img tag to mean image. So this is the tag for adding images on your website, and it has several other attributes. So one of the attributes is the source, src, and the alt. So the alt stands for the alt text. So this is the text that is going to be given if the image is not given. Then the other tags that, the other attributes like the height or even the width, you can also add them. There's even this the attribute of style. So that one can be used to change the height and the width, which is given here. So it's either you can use the height and the width directly to define the height and the width of the image, or even you can use style tag to give that width and the height of your image. So I'm going to, I can demonstrate this one here. So you have on this side, you have the img tag, and it has the image imggirl.jpg, and then you can see there's the alt text. So because this image is available, it's the one that is being represented here. Now, if I change the name of this image, I can maybe change the girl to boy. If I run this, you're going to realize that now we don't have the image here. You just see something like that shows this is an image, but then it is giving the alt text, which is a girl in a jacket. So it's also a good thing to always ensure that the information you're giving about your image gives a clear description.